Hello everybody, this is Nasmus. This is the demo part for presentation 3. In this demo, I'm just basically going to build a Docker image for an API. So I'm just going to start by giving a brief presentation about Docker. So Docker is a virtualization software used to develop and deploy application easily. So it will basically put everything, all the dev environment in a container for you so that you can run the dev environment easily from whichever machine that you're using. So the problem is, suppose you have like a software company and you have 100 developers working for you. What's going to happen is that everybody's using different machines, everybody has different configurations, but when you distribute your work environment to them, everybody's going through different steps to install the dependencies, and everybody's going through many steps to install the dependencies. So it's a very error prone process. So what's the solution? The solution is that we use something like Docker. Docker has simple commands like docker pull node, docker pull nginx, docker pull mongodb, and it's platform independent, so you can use it for any OS and run without conflicts. Also, you can use like different version of node, different version of mongodb, different version of any dependencies running in the same machine, which is impossible to do if you're not using containers. So just to get a little bit technical, Docker versus VM. So how does a virtual machine work? Because basically Docker and virtual machine are doing like kind of the same thing, but what virtual machine is doing is basically virtualizing both the application layer and also the kernel, the hardware layer. But Docker is only virtualization virtualizing the OS layer. So that provides a little bit of advantage for Docker. Like, it uses less memory, it can run up really fast, it can like spin up really fast, and but the problem is that VM is, you can run VM in all operating system. You can have like a Windows operating system and you can run like a Mac VM, vice versa. But if you want to run Docker, you need Linux. So what's the solution? Solution is Docker Desktop. Docker Desktop is a hypervisor layer with a lightweight Linux kernel. So whenever you have like Docker Desktop, you download Docker Desktop, you're basically downloading a lightweight kernel, Linux kernel, that's going to run your images. This is necessary because all the popular images are Linux based. Okay. So what is the Docker image? Docker image is like a blueprint with the runtime environment, application code, any dependencies, extra configuration, and commands, right? And one more thing I want to show you before I start the live demo is that when you go to the Docker registry, the Docker hub, basically, you download images from there. Once you download the images from there, when you run the images in your Docker Desktop, they basically become a container. Okay, so you can, from one image, you can run different instances of a container. Okay, so now I'm just going to start the live demo part of the video. I'm going to open up Docker Desktop. So we're starting up the Docker engine, and as you can see, I have no images loaded up and I have no containers running. So I'm just going to go to my browser and open up Docker Hub. I don't need to sign in, I can just go on the for node, and this is the official Docker image for node. It has more than 1 billion downloads. Okay, so I'm just going to go up to my terminal, clear this stuff, and then I'm going to pull this image into the Docker Desktop from Docker Hub. Okay, as you can see, it's pulling the image. pull complete. So now if I go to my images, you can see that it has downloaded the latest version of Node. Okay, so I'm just going to go and run this container, run this in a container, and as you can see over here, when I press click, when I click start, it is just turning green and then turning just not turning green again. So basically that's a bug. To get rid of this bug or to bypass this bug, I'm just going to run this command. Is docker run -g-it node latest, and now it's going to basically make a container out of this image. As you can see, the status has changed to in use, and when I go to this one over here, and you can see like I have a container running. So when I open a terminal in this container and type node, it's going to show you the node version. So basically this is the environment. I opened up a terminal in the environment, and I have Node, the latest version of Node installed in it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to Dockerize my application, which is like a simple API, and we're going to run it. Okay, so let me open up my VS Code over here. So yeah, so I have already opened up VS Code in my app. So basically this is a simple app, as you can see over here. This is basically using Express to create a route. As you can see over here, it's listening to 4000, and when you go to /4000, it's going to respond with this JSON, the simple JSON over here. And when you go to /4000, you don't really need to know the format of Express. Just know that when we hit the route 4000, it's going to basically show this JSON to us. Okay, so now what I would normally do to run this application is basically I would do, if I'm looking to my left, I have like a notebook over here, so I'm just going to reference this. Okay, so normally what I would do is like I would do like npm install, and that would install all the dependencies, and after I install all the dependencies, it would just make this node modules folder where I would have like all the dependencies installed. And after I have all my dependencies installed, I could just be like node app.js, and that would run the application, and it would open up basically a window in my browser where I could go to like /4000 and to return this JSON. But in this presentation, I'm not going to do that, because we're going to do something a bit different. We're not going to create any dependencies in my local machine. We're just going to run this in a container. So to do that, we're going to just we're going to create a Docker file. After I create a Docker file, I'm not going to use Copilot over here, so I'm just going to like type myself. So I can choose like from. So Docker, this command is basically used to download the base image. So over here as a base image, I need Node. Okay, I need Node, the version of Node that works with Linux. So I'll be like from Node 17 17 so this is not the format, 17 Alpine. Okay, so this sentence, if I want to like just explain it, so this is telling Docker to download Node version 17, which works with Alpine, the Linux Alpine version. Okay, so the second thing we're going to do is like we're going to write workdir, and we're going to like /app. Okay, so this means that we're telling Docker that I want you to make a folder called /app on the root file, and I want to I want you to make it the working directory. So whatever we do it, excuse me. So whatever we do after this, we're going to do it in /app, the directory. Okay. So after that, I'm going to write copy. So as you can see over here, copy source destination. Okay, so from where do you want to copy? What's your source? The source is this level, basically wherever our Docker folder is right now. We are on the same level as the app.js package.json file. So as we're in the same level, we can just copy from here. If we were not in the same level, like if our Docker folder was over here and our package.json and app.js files were in a different folder like /source, then I'd have to do something like this, just to make sure Docker knows where my app is. But since we are in the same level, I'm just going to do dot. And where's the destination? The destination is /app. So since we're in the working directory, I can just do dot, and it's going to copy from this level and put it in our working directory. Okay, and now we're going to do something like this. So we're going to run a command. We're going to run npm install. So this is, if you remember, this is the same thing I would type over here on my terminal in my machine to install the dependencies. But instead of doing that, I'm telling Docker that you need to do this when you are building the image. Okay, so when you're using the run command, this basically runs this command at build time when it's building the image. Okay, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to expose the port. So this is the port that belongs to the container, container that's built from the image. We need to tell Node which port to expose so that it knows which port we are listening to in my application. Okay, as you can see over here, I'm listening to port 4000 over here. So I need to tell Docker that you need to expose this port in your container so that we can get output from it. Okay, and the last thing we're going to do is we're going to basically use this command to tell Docker that I want you to do this. I want you to run this command at runtime, not build time. So at build time, we're using run, but if you want to do something at runtime, then you want to use command. Okay, so we're going to do command app.js. This is the same thing I would write over here if I wanted to run the app after I downloaded all the dependencies. Okay, but instead we're going to tell Docker that you need to do this at runtime after you build the container. Okay, so that's it. Our Docker file is complete. The next thing we want to do is we want to basically build the image. So we're going to do docker build /t my app. So this we're telling Docker to build /t my app means we're tagging this build as my app. We're naming this build as my app, and we're going to do dot because we have to tell this command where our Docker file is. As our Docker file is in the same level as this API folder, we just do dot. Okay, so this is going to automatically build a Docker image, and we are going to be able to see this in our images library pretty soon, as soon as the build is done. Yep, as you can see over here, it's showed up over here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically run this. Okay, so what do I do to run this? I have to basically I'm just going to name my app, and then I have to basically as you can see, our image is exposing port 4000, and I want to tell the image that you also have to link this port to our machine port 4000, so that when we visit localhost 4000 in our machine, the image knows that this port should be connected to this port. So I could even be 5000, 6000, whatever, and it would connect this port to that. But I'm just going to keep it simple and keep it 4000, and we're going to run this. So now we are listening for request on port 4000. Okay, I'm just going to go to my browser and open up localhost 4000. As you can see, voila, we have the JSON showing up just like I expected. Okay, one more thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to like stop this container, and then we're going to like I think it's not stopped yet, so I'm just going to go back. As you can see, it's in use, so I'm just going to go over here and I'm going to like basically delete this one, and when I go back over here, it's unused. And now that it's unused, I go to port 4000 and we cannot see the JSON anymore. Once we run it again, let me just run it again. Run. Image over here, container, it's running. So now I go to 4000. Okay, so now I think I did a mistake over here. The mistake I did over here is that I did not specify which port it's supposed to expose. Okay, so I'm just going to go over here and I'm going to run, and as you can see over here, the host port is empty. I'm just going to tell it again that it's 4000. Let me just say it's 5000 now. Okay, okay, run. Okay, so now I go to port 4000, nothing here. Port 5000, JSON right here. Okay, so this is how you can like run basically your simple application or like even a complex application basically in your Docker container. So I just like to end by saying that over here I have no dependencies, as you can see in my local machine. It is built in the container. Okay, so that's the magic of Docker. I'd like to end my presentation. Thank you for watching.